That's the combination of the operation.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year, Happy 2021. My name is Toby Derima. I'm the Public Information Officer of the Virgin Islands Police Department. All this week we have been telling everyone in the community, telling people not to fire their guns. We've been running a commercial on all the radio stations telling people, please don't fire your guns into the air to celebrate the coming of the new year. And we told people in a press brief yesterday that we would be out in force, making sure that anyone who decides to do this would face charges, would be facing what's happening with the law. Well, today we are here to announce the fruits of that labor. The officers were out in force last night into this morning, early this morning, in an operation called Operation Eagle Eye. And what we would like to do is to tell everyone exactly what we did, what was confiscated, who may have been arrested or who was going to be charged, to give the information on the operation that happened last night. I'd like to bring to the microphone Police Commissioner Trevor Velena as we get into exactly what was done. So, Commissioner, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Toby. Good afternoon to our Virgin Islanders. I'm glad to stand here today to say that we all made it to 2021. We know 2020 was a challenging year for us as a community and essentially for the world. And we want 2021 to be a safe and positive one for all Virgin Islanders, both those who live here and individuals who travel here as visitors to our territory. So we've seen over the years that there's been a new type of behavior. When I say new, at least for the last decade and a half, where we have our community members that have brought in the new year by way of celebratory gun firing. And that this particular action is not a healthy action. It traumatizes the community, it traumatizes our seniors, and it really does not set a good standard because both the residents and the visitors, we are not comfortable with it. And it's not a civilized practice. In fact, some people have said it sounds like being in a war zone. I am here to tell you that this year it was no different. We traveled back and forth throughout these islands, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John. And I happen to be here on St. Thomas. And we traveled from Boboni to farther east, Smith Bay, all the way down to Bordeaux and in between. And almost without fail, all the communities had some form of gunshots or gunfire. It's irresponsible, it's not right. We knew this was going to happen. We knew that there was going to be some level of gunfire, whether you talk on St. Thomas, or St. Croix, or St. John. In St. Croix, likewise, under the direction of Deputy Commissioner Walwyn and Chief Cindy Elstow, likewise, they traveled back and forth throughout the entire island, from Frederickstead to Christiansted. And what we did prior to this was the chiefs, along with the commissioner's office, got together and they came up with a plan working with the commanders. So this plan was not the commissioner's plan, it was our plan, the Virgin Islands Police Department plan. And our goal literally was to identify how we can impact this celebration. So the way we did this in this case is we identified that we're going to bring as many individuals who we identify as boots on the ground to come forward and participate. So both internally within the Virgin Islands Police Department, also with our partners from within the Virgin Islands law enforcement community, to include DLCA, DPNR, VI Waste Management, Superior Court Marshal, Taxi Commission. They were all out there with the Virgin Islands Police Department. Our goal was simple, to have presence and to address matters that we could address. And that's what we did. But in addition to that, we also secreted officers in at least one or two communities. And the goal was to be able to identify when people are engaged in this lawless type activity. As a result, we arrested at least 8 individuals were arrested, with an additional 8 individuals that were also taken into custody, so 16 individuals total. So those other 8 individuals that we did not arrest, those investigations are still ongoing. But in addition to that, we charged individuals and confiscated these firearms, these weapons. As you look at this table, you're seeing a display of an assortment of weapons. Anything from AR-15, AK-47, you're seeing 100 round drum, 50 round drum. I mean, you're seeing them. These are weapons that were taken off of our streets. And this is a small bit of the firearms that were out on the streets. Total, on last night's initiative, we were able to confiscate 17 firearms. But you're looking at them here. We're not done. Our intention is to make our streets safer. But we also need the community's participation. We need the community to get involved. Literally, it's your sons, it's your daughters, it's your neighbors, it's your nephews. There are adults who are engaging in this, and there are children who are also engaging in this behavior. It's not the responsible behavior that we want for our community. And so I want to give a shout out to the men and women in law enforcement, because I will tell you, while we were out there last night, our officers, bullets were coming towards our officers. That's irresponsible and it's not right. But they stood the course. They went towards the activity. They did not run from it. With that being said, many of our officers were up from very early, and as I came down today, many of whom had not even taken a rest, had not shut their eyes, still working, still processing. Because after individuals fired rounds into the community, our officers went out and picked up ballistic, they picked up the casings. And we're going to continue to investigate these matters, these cases. These guns are going to be sent off for further technological type follow-up, NIBIN, to determine whether or not these guns were involved in other situations. So we're going to investigate these matters. So I want to say just a thank you to the men and women in law enforcement who worked tirelessly, who came together, who sacrificed, who were away from their family as we ran in 2021 to do a service to our community. They were bold, they were active, and this is the reward of what they did, their activities. Also, we know that more could have happened, meaning that more people could have probably been involved in this careless and lack of responsible type behavior. But some people took the right action, which is to not engage. And they simply did so because it's the right thing to do, or because law enforcement's presence act as a deterrent. I want to say thank you to the community who has continued to give the Virgin Islands Police Department its support, but more importantly, those who have been very active, positive role models by doing the right thing. You know, we want to continue to have and embrace a positive community. Today is the last day of Kwanzaa, Imani. Imani means fate. And so we have faith that as a community, that we will continue to do what's right, even when it's not popular. We'll continue to pursue what is righteous and what is just, because it's the right thing to do. So again, I want to thank the men and women of the Virgin Islands Police Department and all the law enforcement agencies that have participated in last night's operation, Operation Eagle Eye. Chief Phillips is here. Chief Elsko is not with us today on this side, but Chief Phillips is going to give a few words, and then we'll pass it on.
Pleasant good afternoon to everybody, and Happy New Year 2021. Thank you, Commissioner Velena. As the Commissioner stated, we did an operation this morning into the new year, and these are the fruit of our labor. We confiscated these firearms, and the officers engaged individuals, redirected individuals on the street, and this is what we got. I would love to thank the officers for a job well done. The officers did an outstanding job. As the Commissioner stated, we engaged. We went to the fight. We tried to take back our streets, and we will take back our streets. We had some individuals who were arrested. I will name the names who was arrested in the area. We have a Jamari Ford, and he was arrested in the area of Tutu Valley with one of these firearms. We also have Shamori Maxime, and he was arrested in Gaspard Gada, and he was also arrested with firearms, these deadly firearms. We also have Martin Trevor. He was arrested in the Corin Terrace housing community, and he had one of these firearms. This is what we are facing in the community, people. We need to get together, come together, let the police know what is happening. Because without your help, we cannot do it alone. We need your eyes and ears. If you see something, say something. It's very easy not to say anything. But you have to say something, because we have to take back this community. The community belongs to us. It belongs to us, not these criminals out there on the streets. We have elderly individuals that want to go to church and had to head these renditions or celebratory gunfire. That shouldn't happen. These are elders that take care of us. We don't need this in our community. We need the help of the people to make sure we could take back our street. Some of these individuals, the Commissioner said, are your nieces, or your uncles, or your brothers, your father, some type of family member. You have to stop it. We have to care. We have a pandemic that is going on. We don't need gun violence in our community. We don't need it. We just need the help of the community to stop this gun violence here. And I just want to say thank you. Any questions? Commissioner?
Thank you again, Chief Phillips. You hear his passion. Chief Phillips was one of those individuals who was in an area and had to go down on his knees. You know, hearing the gunshots coming projected towards the area that he was located in, along with the deputy chief. You know, so again, this stands to reason. Now, over on St. Croix, there were several individuals who were arrested. I have the names of a couple individuals. One by the name of Clinton Groby, Grouby, 27, of I think in the Golden Rock area. The Johnny Sweeney, and Elvis Villar, Villar. Those individuals are the individuals that I have the names of currently over in the St. Croix district. With that being said, Toby, I guess we can open it up for questions from the reporters.
All right, we have some reporters on the phone. Let's see. Daily News, AJ, do you have any questions for the Commissioner or the Chief?
Yes, good afternoon, AJ Rao, the Daily News. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, just a couple quick questions. The 8 individuals that were arrested, what was the charge that they were given?
Yes, so these charges are generally going to be for possession of unregistered firearm and also reckless endangerment. This is a situation where individuals are in possession of firearms. Oftentimes they're not registered. I will tell you that we're also investigating cases involving individuals who had registered firearms but were out there, and we project that they were in fact engaged in also celebratory gunfire. Again, prior to this, we warned the community. We gave brief and we said we will be out there and we will be investigating these matters. Yes, and so obviously you're also looking at illegal discharge of firearms. So these are some of the general charges that we're looking at for each of these individuals.
Okay, and I know you mentioned some of the types of weapons. It kind of cut out a little bit. I didn't quite hear it. Could you list some of those types of weapons that were seized?
Yes, so we have AK-47s, we have AR-15s, we have various types of pistols, we have extended magazines, we have drum magazines, so there's an assortment. There's also a revolver, so you have a combination of long guns along with handguns.
Okay, great. And will you be sending out a full list of all the people arrested with mugshots for the press?
Yes, we'll have PIO Derima, he'll work on that.
Okay, great. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for your question.
Okay, thank you, AJ. Let's move over to the VI source.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Hi, yes, thank you. This is Bill Tosser. Can I find out, you said that there were another 8 people, so 16 people in total that you dealt with, or did I misunderstand?
Yeah, that is correct. There were 16 people that were initially taken into custody. 8, we are continuing the investigation on, so there's ongoing investigation on these matters. But yes, there were 16 people that were associated either in direct or indirect possession of firearms.
Okay, and was this entirely based upon officers and others reporting activity near them, or was the shot spotter technology used as well?
Absolutely, we utilized the full gamut of the technology to include shot spotters. This was an initiative. The commanders of the various zones were actively engaged and directed their personnel to be a part of a holistic team. And so, yes, this was a very comprehensive initiative. Operation Eagle Eye, both on St. Thomas, St. John, and the St. Croix district.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kostler. Let's move on to the St. Croix Avis. Mr. Bullock, go ahead with your questions.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioner. In terms of the Eagle Eye operation, were there any minors who were taken into custody, and any damage to property from last night's illegal activities? And what about the ammunition? We hear how many firearms? Would you say that hundreds of ammunitions were seized with these firearms?
No, we do not have hundreds of ammunition at this time, but we did take ammunition into custody. And to your first question, which was minors, we did not take any minors into custody on last night's operation. But we will say that, the operation is one where, we went where we heard gunshots, and it was all over the place, but we had to be very methodical, very strategic, and very safe in the way that we did this. And keep in mind, several of these individuals had firearms in their hands, on their person. And in addition to the firearms, we also see some narcotics, marijuana, in several of the incidents as well. So you're looking at both narcotics and firearm charges.
Yes, and the last question to me, Commissioner, one of your former chiefs from St. Croix, it was Chief Howard. He had one of his mantras was that he periodically, after I guess crimes were disposed of, suspects were convicted, firearms that were seized over a period of a year or two, he had his mantra was to publicly cut these weapons up with in the full view of the media and the entire community. And so I guess it goes back to trust factor. Are you contemplating sometime in the future to have a public destruction of these firearms?
Yeah, I commit to you that the Virgin Islands Police Department, we will be conducting continued comprehensive inventory of all our firearms, and we are going to destroy those firearms. We've already been engaged in conversations with the United States Attorney's Office, Gretchen Shepherd, along with the SAC of the ATF, who've agreed to literally assist the Virgin Islands Police Department in destroying the firearms, disposing them in a manner that is good for our environment and the likes. So we will be destroying firearms, whether or not it'll be a public type display or simply getting them to the authority where they utilize a smelter or whatever it is and get them destroyed. The goal literally is to get rid of firearms once cases are resolved. We do have firearms that need to be destroyed, and they will be destroyed.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bullock. Finally, we do have the VI Consortium. Mr. Gilbert, go ahead with your questions, please.
Yes, good afternoon. Just a follow-up on one of the questions relative to the types of charges. You mentioned the type of charges, Commissioner. What type of jail time are these suspects looking at were to be convicted?
So it really depends, and obviously the AG's office, Attorney General George, has oftentimes said that the case goes from inception to prosecution. And so some of these carry some heavy weight to include up to 10 years of imprisonment. So it really depends on the charge. It depends on the person's criminal history. If it's a felon in possession of a firearm, then you're looking at some enhanced type sentences. So yes, I would say that in some cases you can be looking up to 10 years of prison time for possession of one of these weapons.
Thanks for that. And finally here, and they mentioned 8 arrests and 16 altogether with some folks in custody. What is the breakdown per district here? So how many arrests on St. Croix and how many arrests on St. Thomas? And also those in custody, how many in St. Thomas, how many in St. Croix?
Yes, so there were 8 arrested in the 8 arrested total. We're talking about 12 arrested, I believe, in 4 arrested in St. Croix, 4 arrested in St. Thomas, and 8 that are pending continued investigation.
And those 8, what's the breakdown per district?
So the 8 that are pending are in the St. Thomas St. John district.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. And I trust Toby is also going to make that information available, as mentioned a while ago. So, thank you.
Now, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Commissioner, anything else before we close out?
I will turn it over to the chief and the deputy chief for any final words. Again, I want to commend the good work of the men and women in blue, and I want to really kind of emphasize that the mantra of the Virgin Islands Police Department during Operation Eagle Eye is to be safe, but go after those individuals who are committing havoc on our community by engaging in this irresponsible behavior. And our men and women did so in a very strategic manner. They did so safely. And at the end of the day, we arrested 8 individuals with 8 ongoing investigations, and we all are able to now go home safely. And hopefully that this brings a little bit of relief to our community. But we want to more importantly employ our community to please, let's refrain from this type of celebratory type experiment. It's not good, it's not healthy, it doesn't serve a purpose, it doesn't solve a problem, and it's irresponsible. So again, I thank the men and women in blue for the work that they've done on Operation Eagle Eye. Chief?
Well said, Commissioner. I also thanking the men and the women of the Virgin Islands Police Department for outstanding job. The men and the women actually worked from yesterday and they're still working. That just shows the dedication and the motivation that the men and women of the Virgin Islands Police Department are doing. And I thank them. I can't thank them anymore. The team, we were out there. Myself, Deputy Chief Velasquez, he was there. Come on, Deputy Chief, to see some awards. But we did an outstanding job, and I would like to just thank the men and women of the Virgin Islands Police Department. Deputy Chief.
Yes, good afternoon to the audience. Again, I'd like to echo the sentiments of the Commissioner and the Chief of Police. Ladies and gentlemen, the people of the Virgin Islands, you have an excellent police department. The officers of this department did an outstanding job. They continue to do an outstanding job. I am honored to serve them as their Deputy Chief. As you can see by the fruits of their labor, they did an excellent job, and I can't say anything any more than that. To the people of the Virgin Islands, thank you, and continue helping us. You see something, say something. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief and Deputy Chief, and thank you very much, Commissioner, for your words. At this point, we'd like to end this press brief, and we'd like to thank everyone, thank the media for their questions. We'd like to thank Lucky 13 for carrying this live, VIPD for carrying it live as well. We'd like, again, to wish everyone the best of the new year 2021. Let's make this year the best year ever. And yeah, what we'd like to do, let's go ahead and on the live. And again, if you see something, please say something. We have many ways to get in touch with the police department. If you have any information on crimes, either if they already occurred or if they are about to occur and you know it's anything about it, of course, please call 911. In St. Thomas, you can call 340-774-2211 and call the Criminal Investigation Bureau. Any of the detectives that are there can take your information and we can move on into these investigations. On St. Croix, you can call the crime tip line at 340-778-4950. And of course, you can also call anonymously to Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS, 1-800-222-8477. Again, Happy New Year, Happy 2021 from the Virgin Islands Police Department, where it's our job to protect and serve. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Keep it in. Let's go to the car. Mute the mics.